a HD camera. It looked really expensive. I didn't even want to touch it. and and he did it all in one day, and from there, it's just been great. I've been getting a really good response from it. And I just wanted to show. I tried to convey the message originally with the first site through words, and then I tried pictures, and then I realized that it was best I just do a video. I really wanted to stand out, and I put the at first I was kind of weird because as soon as you go on the website, the video starts, but it kind of gives people, like you said, that home feel that we do understand, their computer problems, and we want to solve them, and we are friendly. And
yeah, it basically has everything that somebody would want to see for a new business. Like if they're bringing their computer to somebody they don't know, you included everything in that video that they would want to see. I mean, it's really brilliantly done. I think that's great. The only thing about your site that confused me, and I know you want to keep it simple, is why don't you have your phone number just right there next to your name? I mean, I had to click a link to find your phone number.
Well, honestly, there's supposed to be a different header right there, but
gotcha.
Yeah, there's supposed to be a header right there with the logo, but
gotcha.
Procrastination.
Okay, all right, good. So you're gonna have your phone number on that other one?
Yeah. I'll get that done tonight because I keep procrastinating on it.
Other than that, man, the thing's really good, and I'm gonna bet that people who are watching this and go to your website and see the video, they're going to want your friend to do a video for them or something like it. So tell him you might have some business lined up for him.
Yes, I'm going to break out my affiliate program with him.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Smart move. Cool, man. So tell us about your employee. Like, when did you decide you needed to hire somebody, and what's all that about?
Well, I decided I need to hire somebody when oftentimes I would talk to a customer on the phone, then another customer would walk in,
right.
Then I would have to put them on hold, and I kind of let it get to a point where it hurted. Like it hurted for me to be in there by myself. I started to see the quality of my work go down a little bit.
Right.
And between that and also me bringing in more revenue, where I felt comfortable to hire somebody, that's when I felt like it was time. I would say about 10 months into it is when I got my first employee.
And how did you find him, and why was he a good choice?
Well, he's actually my cousin. And he was a good choice because, I felt comfortable with him. He already had good people skills. Originally, he didn't have any computer skills whatsoever. He just knew the basics, like Facebook and all of that. But because I've taught computers to people for the last 6 years, in about a month or two, he sounded like an expert, like he was A+ certified.
That's awesome.
So I guess the universe works in mysterious ways. Me teaching allowed me to pretty much get him up to speed really fast. Because when you're out in the field, when people call, and they want you to come to their business or to their home, they want it usually that same day or the next day. And it would be hard for me having a one-man shop because, I could only either do it early in the morning or late at night. And some people didn't like that. So I just wanted somebody who I could trust in the shop, who I can trust, who could actually ask questions. I originally, actually, I take that back. This is my second employee because I originally had somebody that was a secretary, it was a young lady, and she didn't know anything about computers, but she pretty much would take the computers, check them in and print out the receipt and all of that. But one of the things I noticed was that she couldn't. The customers felt uncomfortable because they had all of these questions and she couldn't answer them.
Right.
So she would often call me on site, and I would have to explain it over the phone, and it eventually became a headache. I'm constantly answering the questions, and then I couldn't get the on-site job done in a timely manner. And the person is looking over my shoulder like, "Hey, why are you on the phone? Paying you
Right.
$60 an hour. Get off that phone." So it was a bit of a conflict of interest. I did that for about 3 months, and then I realized it was time to find a tech, but it was hard. I interviewed a couple of guys, but to find a tech to find a person that really has a salesman side and also a techie side, and that's really like the balance. You have to find somebody who has that balance, but unfortunately there's very few out here, and
Yeah.
if they are out here they want like $20 an hour, which I don't blame them for. um and that's pretty much it. You'll often find guys who are very great at computers, but their social skills are just like, or they don't have a high confidence. They can't maintain good eye contact. They don't
Right.
really know how to explain
Right.
things.
That's one of the reasons why I teamed up with this latest group of videos we made with a guy named Chris Barry. I don't know if you know him. He's been on a couple shows, but he's the best person I've ever met as far as business and tech, businessman side and tech side. And so that's why it was really good that we made these videos on how to basically, it's for technicians who are missing that business side. And that is such a void that needs to be filled. So we tried to fill that void with these videos we made. I'm going to plug it. It's at wisetechnician.com. So if you guys are listening, can totally understand, what Keith is saying here, check out that site and see those videos are the handling for that. That's basically how to handle that. But you're right. There's not a lot of people out there that are like that. It's tough to find.
Yeah. And I think that's what stands out with me. Like I have a pretty good balance between tech and salesman. Like people tell me all the time, gift the gab. I don't know how I ended up in his position, but it helps, when you can speak non-techie to the customers.
Oh, dude, I'm sure your customers love you.
Yes.
They probably love you. And like, if Mike is the same way, they're going to love him. And if either of you guys aren't there, they're going to just say, "Where's Keith? Where's Mike? Where's Keith? Where's Mike?" That's what's going to happen.
Yeah. You know what's actually funny about that, because the shop is called Keep the Computer Guy. Uh, I had this problem for a while. People would call, and Mike would pick up the phone. He would say, "Hey, this is Mike. How can I help you with your computer?" And they'd be like, "Oh, well, can I speak to Keith?" and it was, and we're a team, so
Yeah.
we would have a hard time explaining to people that, hey, it's not just me. There's Mike too. But then they were like, "No, I want to speak to Keith. I want to speak to Keith. I want to speak to Keith." So
That's so funny, man.
So word to the wise, guys, do not name your business after yourself, because you'll have problems later on.
That's smart tip. Good tip.
Yeah, but I have some, for the most part, people they've gotten used to Mike. I even have some of my customers, if Mike gets to them first, like we play this game, like whoever says hello to the customer first, they get them. Some people don't even know who I am. They're just like, "Oh, I want to deal with Mike and Mike only." And another thing too with my business, if Mike dealt with a customer, first, like he entered them into the system. I typically whenever the customer calls, I usually give him the phone. I let him talk to him.
Yeah.
I kind of treat it like how sales, when you call when you get an account with let's say a supplier at a MA lab or something, you always have that sales rep, that person you're comfortable with.
Right.
They know your name. They probably know your birthday after something, who knows? They know a little bit about you. It kind of helps the customer feel, they feel more comfortable. And sometimes, Mike isn't there and I'm there, but because like what I talked about earlier, I'm organized with PC Repair Track, and I can go back and look at what Mike did. I can say, "Oh, okay, I see Mike did this, so he did that, and okay, I see he left notes about, you like your wallpaper this color or something. Okay, let me change that for you."
I see. I see. No, it is smart that you do that because they have the reality of Mike and they know him, and it's just good customer service. But if you have to, I mean, it's good to have PC Tracker to tell you if you needed the information. But yeah, it's smart to have the way you have that set up.
Yeah.
Now, before we go over to emails, you mentioned earlier in the show that you do computer teaching. Tell us a little bit about that. Like, how'd you get involved with that, and what do you do?
Okay. So, oh man, let me see. Where's the story? So, I'm a sophomore in high school. And there's this lady. She works for this youth center called Southwest Youth Collaborative. It's a youth center on the south side of Chicago, 64th and Kidsey, and they have all kind of programs. They had hip hop dancing, they had computer refurbishment, they had poetry and all of this stuff. And this lady, she worked at my high school, and she also worked at the youth center. She would tell me, hey, go check out this computer program. You might like it, blah blah blah. And I was like, no, I didn't want to do it at first because girls don't like nerds. I didn't want to be, It's like, no, I'm not doing it. It's not cool.
Right.
So she kept asking me. I said, okay, whatever, I'll try it. I ended up falling in love with the program. The program was it was funded through a not-for-profit called Youth Technology Corps. And Youth Technology Corps would receive funds from another not-for-profit called After School Matters. And After School Matters actually paid the high school kids a stipend for coming to this after school program. It was from like 3:30 to like 6:30.
Really?
3 days out of the week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And there was about 30 kids, 2 instructors, and we would just have there were computers everywhere. We would just learn how to fix them, take them apart. We had stuff everywhere. So I ended up staying in the program. I ended up really, really liking computers. And as soon as I graduated out of high school, they offered me a position to teach at the exact same place I grew up in.
Huh.
At 18 years old, I'm in a room full of 17, 16, 18-year-olds teaching them how to fix computers.
Really?
Yeah, it was crazy. And they just pretty much threw me in there. They was just like, here you go. And I was just like, oh. So I think that's where my people skills came in, and I had really no choice but to learn how to get people to do what I need them to do in a timely manner.
Wow.
So yeah, I right out of high school, I started teaching, and from there I learned how to I learned about politics. We would oftentimes give computers away to aldermen, so they could aldermen for their campaigns or stuff, or if they wanted to give them away to not-for-profits in their community. I got a chance to meet the CEO of Office Max and do some things with him, Magic Johnson.
Really?
Yeah, I got a chance to donate some computers to the school that he funds from time to time and sponsors. Yeah. That's how I got started, man. I would never think that starting out in high school, a simple program like that would take me as far as, to where I am today.
Wow, that's amazing, man. I wouldn't think so either, but it's good that you actually went ahead and did it. Yeah,
one of my buddies pretty much he decided not to teach and work at Taco Bell because they were paying more, but
oh man,
he's still there today. So I'm glad I didn't focus on money, and I just focused on what made me happy at the time, and I think that's important,
Oh, it's huge. It's huge. You made the right choice. I think people need to follow in your footsteps on that one. Very cool.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, good stuff, man. You want to stay on the line? Help me handle 2 emails here. We got 2 emails.
Yeah, sure.
All right. This one is from Lynn. She says, I was watching one of your podcasts a few weeks ago on my Roku box. A PC shop owner described a utility that would back up Windows settings such as screensaver and power settings. It also backed up settings for many applications like Outlook and Skype. I cannot remember the name of it. I believe it was from a company in Europe. Can you please tell me the name of this? From Lynn. P.S. I enjoy your podcasts. I think I know what it is, but I'm pretty sure you do. You probably mentioned it earlier in the show.
Yeah, auto backup for tech. That's the program. It's great because it does back up the customer's wallpaper, and customers love that when they can get their computer like exactly the way you had it, especially when you have to wipe it. Oh, you wouldn't believe the little things count. Their username also, their password. Yep, it'll back up the wallpaper, the Skype settings.